This is developing rapidly. It's not done, but I'm told that they've made significant and meaningful progress on what would be the framework of an agreement to sell the Arizona Coyotes franchise ultimately to Ryan Smith and the Smith Entertainment Group and bring NHL hockey to Salt Lake City in time for puck drop in October.
There's Frank Saravelli updating us on NHL news and Utah's future with the NHL. Band of the day is Kiss. They just cashed in on their music catalog. Sold it for $300 million. Band of the day brought to you by Live Nation. For all the live concerts and events in 2024, check out livenation.com.
I'm telling you right now, if NHL comes, I am going to rock and roll all night and party every day in the afternoon and in the morning, and I'm going to boogie overnight and whatever else they sang in that legendary song. Yeah, you can count on it, man.
An expansion NHL team, or moving the Arizona Coyotes, the Yotes, to the locals. What is your preference?
Now, Frank Saravelli said he's been told, and you, in a commercial break, said you've been told. Look at, I love that. I've been told. I love that phrase. So what have you been told? Here's your moment in the sun. The reason why you're an award winner right there. You've been told.
I don't think I want to tell you.
Did you even get any sleep? You were just
got about 4 hours.
Pounding it all night, man. You've been told what you've been working on. The sources. Now, is this one source you've been told or multiple? Just
one?
One. Uno Doctor?
One doctor?
Yeah, that was Kyle's thing on what was holding up Cam Rising.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Do you remember that?
One doctor. I do now. I didn't. When you first said it, I'm like, what is
Uno
talking about?
Uno Doctor.
Yeah.
Uno Doctor.
With the one finger up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I remember now. Uno Doctor.
You've been told, David James Sniggledorf III.
One of the things I was told is what Yacht
you've been told
just
multiple
told
things
us
now.
during the break.
So one person told you multiple things.
Was that that the league is in the middle of this sale?
So Pierre LeBrun, who we've had on the show, was on TSN Sports Center last night and said that the league is in the middle of this. Essentially, what would happen is the league would buy the Coyotes franchise from Morello, the owner down there in Arizona, turn around, sell it to Ryan Smith and SEG with an additional relocation fee on top of it to disperse out to the rest of the NHL owners.
So the rest of the NHL owners get like $10 million for raising their hand and voting yes?
Yeah.
And you've been told that?
That'll be $300 million.
Sweet, man. I love it when you've been told stuff.
If they're going to move to Utah, it makes sense that they would move as soon as possible because there would be a lot of things to do before they could drop the puck next fall. So Arizona plays the last game Wednesday. The NHL
hockey lingo now.
Drop the puck.
Oh,
but I have
man.
to say it really carefully because, like you said yesterday when you were contemplating the end of your career if the NHL moves here, careful.
And you're going to go over there and there's going to be people going crazy and you're going to think, man, this is the market.
I don't have to. I already got an email.
From what?
The same one you got. The one you were talking about earlier today.
Oh, but that's this job.
Right.
Not where you pledge allegiance.
To the flag of the National Hockey League of America.
You drop soccer like a hot friggin' potato. That's been my whole premise all along. You act like you're in love with it. You're in love with yourself and what helps you get where you want to go. And I don't blame you. And the great thing about it is you have those other people actually fooled. That's what's amazing.
And by other people, you mean like, what, Trey?
The soccer folks, yeah.
Or like soccer fans.
Folks.
Oh, okay.
A to Z. And I sit back in amazement because I know the truth.
Oh, okay.
And it's a marvelous work that you do. And you do the same thing here. You'd act like you're buddy-buddy with Shane Doan.
It's a marvelous work and a wonder.
Shane Doan.
Shane Doan, I think they played his rookie year, they played in Winnipeg, and then they moved to Phoenix. And now it's looking like his son, Josh, will play one year in Phoenix
and move to Utah.
Yeah. And he's their Karl Malone of the Coyotes franchise.
He's the guy.
Yeah. And plus he's very glib and very media friendly and very available too. So I would imagine they would be upset about that because that involves moving. So, of course, if you've ever been involved in a job transfer, you can
not
relate.
exciting.
Yeah.
Selling houses, if the older players pulling kids out of school.
Yeah. So you can imagine why the people involved wouldn't just go crazy.
There have been stories about that, and it's one of the things that makes us all think this is accelerating and it's really going to happen. As the stories come out of Phoenix, the players are not excited, and they've heard stuff.
What else have you been told?
Oh, I have to think.
Big ears.
Big ears.
What do you got? Come on.
I think that's largely the gist of it right there.
So they come.
The reporting for people. I was not told that it was done.
Well, it's not done.
Right.
If it were done, there'd be an announcement.
But it seems like they might.
No, if it were done, there'd be an announcement. You just told me that they got to do it as soon as possible. Now you're waffling. That doesn't make any sense. Be consistent.
Are they waiting for Arizona to play their last home game? So they don't have...
what the hell's the difference? They're playing in a 4,500-seat arena. Who cares?
Yeah, some visuals of, people outside the arena protesting or something. I don't know.
They're going to do that either way.
Not if they announce it after it's over.
No, I disagree.
You think they'll just do it on the premise?
There's so much news out there.
Yeah, it's leaking. There's so many things that have to be done.
The dam is broke. It's beyond a leak.
Right. There's so many things that have to be done that they've had to just move and get along with it.
Yeah. It's out
there. So even
if
the T's aren't crossed and the I's aren't dotted, it seems like with the momentum, it's going to happen.
Yeah, and the folks who want them to stay are going to be extremely upset. We understand that.
And there are plenty of those people. Actually, some of them with this question on our Facebook page, an expansion NHL team or the Arizona Yotes, what's your preference? Jacob says, as someone from Arizona, I would hate to see them lose their team when they've been fighting so hard to keep them, especially because their trouble started about 10 years ago when Glendale tried to kick them out while ignoring their contract. So please be an expansion team.
All right. Well, he has at least an emotional vested interest in the team remaining in its current home and not its original home.
Nick says if it is a relocation, then it would be like the Seattle Supersonics all over again, only this time it would be in hockey. Kevin is not worried about Arizona. I'm impatient. Relocation would get a team here on the ice sooner than expansion.
And there's no doubt about that. That's a fact. That's a black and white fact. You cannot argue that.
Eldon says, I'll take any team except the Boston Bruins. It's very specific, Eldon.
Screw the Bruins.
Moving one of the original six. You think moving the Arizona Coyotes is a big deal?
Move one of the original
the Bruins
six
out of Boston. Move one of the original six. That'd do it. All right, you've got some more reporting here from Frank Saravelli.
Yeah, Saravelli was obviously with Hans and Scotty yesterday, and going back to one of the comments just a minute ago about the concern of bringing an expansion franchise here versus the established franchise. Well, Saravelli says that at least with you talk about the Doan kid, they've got some options here. It looks like they can make them a pretty competitive program. Here you go.
The Coyotes are really uniquely positioned, whereas instead of wanting to start from scratch with an expansion team, if I were in Ryan Smith's shoes, I'd much rather start with the Coyotes. You've got building blocks of good players. You've got some fantastic prospects. You've got an arsenal of draft picks to deal from. And you've got a team that, at least this season until January, showed a ton of compete and fight.
Yeah, that sounds just like the Jazz.
Well, actually, the Jazz have had two rebuilding years, and Arizona's missed the playoffs 10 out of 11. So Arizona's actually in Phoenix Suns territory, moving towards Warriors and Kings rebuild.
Well, I think that's part of the reason why they're in the little pickle
situation they're in.
Yeah. But, I mean, I don't know that that's necessarily the truth anymore. I mean, in their first season, the Knights lost in the final.
The expansion rules were very friendly, and they were very good very quickly in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And we actually do have people posting here that they would prefer an expansion team as opposed to an organization that's had a lot of problems like the Coyotes.
Yeah. I mean, the Knights... It was until their, fifth season that they did not make the playoffs. I think in the fourth they won it.
Yeah, Josh says, I would prefer expansion just to be able to compete immediately, but I will take the NHL here any way we can get it.
It's probably the safer thing. If I knew that everything was even, I would probably prefer the expansion. But at the same time, if something is there, take it, and then you don't have to worry about it.
Right.
So I get why Ryan Smith would want to bring the team and get going on this, if nothing else, and detract from the mess that the Jazz are.
That's a positive, right?
Yeah.
Hey, look over here.
Oh, and
meanwhile, the rebuild continues over here.
The cool thing, man, if he were to be the principal owner, you don't want to own two teams who suck.
Well, Arizona right now, 7th out of 8 teams in their division, 13th out of 16 teams in their conference.
Yeah, but they got draft picks. They got Josh Doan. And
how quickly can young guys turn it around?
They're going to have to – the pressure would be on that man to start fielding a winning team because he has no cachet. I mean, I can't count a minority ownership of RSL.
Right. All right, DJ and PK, we have more on the pending, potential, seemingly inevitable, but not quite yet official NHL move of the Coyotes to Utah. Ian Mendez, NHL senior writer for The Athletic, joins us at 8:30. Brian Taylor coast to Real Golf Radio, live from Augusta, Georgia, where they've got at least a 2.5-hour weather delay. That's next. Brian will join us. Stay with us.